Still on the show is my chat with Fabian Bolin, who believes that technology is truly changing the healthcare sector globally. More right after this. Fabian, glad to have you on the show.
CFA, it's awesome to be here. Thank you.
It's great seeing you. Welcome to Nigeria. The last time we saw was in Stockholm, but we're glad to have you in Nigeria.
You know, it's been great. What was it, like 4 months ago?
4 months ago.
It feels like a lifetime. A lot of things have happened for us in positive ways. We're continuing to building the product, building the company. We actually completed a fundraising round just around the time when we met for War on Cancer. So, no, all I can say, it's definitely moving forward.
Give us an overview of the healthcare sector globally.
Healthcare traditionally has been very much focused on one key single metric. And now I'm speaking for healthcare from my understanding and from where I've seen healthcare. So the main metric has been survival. So what's happening really in essence is that healthcare is making the transition from being a production focused type of industry where they focus on survival to a service focused industry where the key metric is patient satisfaction, where of course survival is going to be one part of it, a big part, but not all of it.
And how do you think that technology is influencing healthcare in general?
Healthcare today, or healthcare institutions, is basically just one part of a wide range of different type of health solutions and health institutions, which are all revolving around patients. For instance, health apps, patient organizations, research organizations, pharmaceutical companies. And before healthcare really starts to think of themselves as part of this ecosystem, we're going to have this problem where patients are not being satisfied. But certainly within the health tech space, what we see is a search of different solutions, and many of them are patient-driven, as in patients that have gone through things, acknowledge a need or a problem, and then build a solution from that need. Those type of solutions generate a lot of traction, and they gain a lot of interest.
The Stockholm ecosystem, tell us a bit about it and how it's faring.
I think it's a good ecosystem. It's a good place for startups to be. And a couple of reasons for that is, I would say the biggest reason why there are so many startups and entrepreneurs in Stockholm is because we have quite a vast welfare system in place, which gives a lot of people with good ideas the confidence that they need to take that leap out and take that risk. We know that this is, of course, not the same in other countries where you don't necessarily have the same ecosystem or the same welfare system, meaning that if you fail with your business, you might end up on the streets. Having said that, however, I would say that because a lot of people praise the Swedish ecosystem, and there's also a lot of challenges with it. Among them, one being that it's not really, most of the rules, laws, taxes, and regulations are suitable for large corporations. So we small companies and small and medium-sized companies are having to deal with a lot of bureaucracy, a lot of unnecessary regulations that become an obstacle for us in our own growth, really. So, but there are obviously room for improvement in every country. And what I'm hoping to see is, I wish that our government would install something along the lines of a startup minister, the way that Canada just did. They brought in a startup minister that went in and just removed 400 different regulations in one go, because the person said, well, this is not in any way helpful for these startups.
Share with us your journey into becoming a startup. I mean, how did it all start?
Well, I can briefly talk about my background. So I studied business at the Stockholm School of Economics. I came into that business school with entrepreneurial dreams, and I thought that business school was going to give me and provide me with the tools that I needed to start a company. However, during those 3 years of business studies, I was so heavily exposed to employer branding. from management consultants and investment bankers. So after that, when I was finished, I had forgotten about my dream to build a company. And instead I said, let's go and work in investment banking in London. So I went down to London and started working in bonds trading. I did that for a couple of years. Enjoyed it. I liked the fast-paced environment and a lot of the risk that you get to take in such a young age. I was 23 when I started working. And I mean, initially I thought it was related to stress, a lot of hard work, London life in general. Didn't do anything about it. Also had a flight to Stockholm a month later to visit my parents. On the very day that I flew to Stockholm, I had this immense pain in my chest area, which made it hard for me to breathe. And that got me really scared. But I flew to Stockholm. I told my parents right away when I met them that, like, look, I'm struggling to breathe. I think we need to go to the A&E, the hospital. I went there, I got scanned, and 2 days later, I was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia, blood cancer. I was given a 60 to 70% chance of surviving. But I was also told that in order to live through this, I would have to go through 900 days of chemotherapy. So that's 2.5 years. And honestly, that realization was more traumatizing than the fact that I might actually die. So I had a ton of questions that I wanted answers to, but not so many of them were related to like practicalities and specifics on the treatment. My questions were around life with cancer. So I wrote a post on Facebook where I explained the situation, and I asked if people could help me share to find someone in a similar situation. Thousands and thousands of people from all over the world sent their love back to me through messages. So sitting there in a patient gown at Karolinska, I was feeling this wave of happiness coming up inside of me. And that led me to decide that, okay, I'm gonna share my entire journey through cancer in a blog, and I'm gonna name the blog Fabian Bolin's War on Cancer. Now, this blog became my savior from a mental health point of view, and it really made me understand the power of sharing.
Finally, Fabian, I've had a few friends who have come in contact with this disease. Some died, some survived. But my question to you is, what specifically, or how would Nigerian patients or patients across Africa benefit from this product?
I want to say that War on Cancer has a very global mindset. We believe that our app will be a tool that can be used for cancer patients and people affected by cancer across all the world. Already today, there's people from more than 20 countries using the app, which is amazing. With regards to Nigeria, or perhaps many parts of Africa more specifically, from what we've learned from talking to people with more knowledge of the region, cancer can be it's very stigmatized. It's not something that everybody wants to talk openly about, which of course creates even more of a mental challenge for the person going through this, because if you don't have anyone to talk to about it, you're gonna suppress it. And it makes me so sad to think about people going through this all alone, not wanting or daring to talk about it. And I want them to know that War on Cancer app is here for them. They're welcome to come into this community where they'll find that sense of belonging, and again, that knowledge and notion that they are not alone.
I've been chatting with Fabian Bolin, co-founder War on Cancer. His case is a classical example of how to find a unique problem and apply tech to solving SIM. What I've learned most from Fabian's story is that there still exists countless problems that can become businesses depending on who the driver is. And such product or solution can also be scaled across the globe. That's the beauty of the world we live in. It's a wrap on this edition of the show, but the conversation continues online. Join us on social media. Remember, you can watch the entire show on the Channels TV YouTube account or by checking out cfablog.ng. For Tech Trends, I'm Chukwemeka Agbata.